You've reached call in Mockery.
Okay, I'll let you do it.
All right.
Is it? I think we should do it first because last week you were talking about Green Day. So it's probably fresh on everyone's mind.
Yeah.
From last week.
Right.
We just do it quick.
Okay.
Okay. I'll let you do it.
Thank
then
you.
we'll do the show.
Okay.
I just kind of want to get out of the way.
Thanks.
So take it away, Landon.
All right.
Can you are you getting warmed up or what's the deal? Are you getting warmed up?
No.
You're just going to do it?
Let me cook.
It sounds weird. Okay. I'm sorry. I will let you do it. Sounds a
Let
little.
me
sound a little,
cook.
okay. Okay. Let me just. Okay.
Let me cook.
I walk a lonely road, the only road that I have ever known. Don't know where it goes, but it's only me and I walk alone.
Okay, good. Okay, that was. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome to Call in Mockery. My name is Landon.
That was Landon, the artist, the artiste.
Yeah, what can I say?
I'm Joey, of course, and I guess I'm just not as creative as some people in the studio.
Yeah, that's right.
I could try it. Boom, da, hee,
No.
Landon, I'm so thirsty.
Me too.
Right off the bat.
Liquid Death.
Convicted melon's my new flavor.
And I, unbelievable.
God, that's so crisp. Well, that would pair well with a sushi glory hole.
They bring these guys back and then they're just on the show again.
Yeah. They're running out of... They're like, well, we probably should bring back the people that were funny.
Do they even do Please Don't Destroy anymore?
I don't know. I haven't watched the first 2 episodes of this season.
I watched the Nate Bargatze episode because he's funny.
Yeah.
And it was funny. But the thing with look, we're talking SNL. We have to. It's the SNL
We haven't
recap.
done it for a while.
It's the SNL recap podcast. The best one on the internet.
Which is why the problem is that we haven't done it for a while.
Yeah.
People are like, you guys are the SNL recap podcast.
Yeah, it's too bad.
And you haven't done it for a while. So we're doing that. I watched one Nate Bargatze sketch, which was the putting the dead body down the slide.
Oh, yeah.
And he is funny. Like, seems more natural than the actors on the show.
Yeah, that's the
He's
problem.
like, oh, dang, I guess we should probably push him down. Like, he gets it more than the new people.
And I think, I don't know, because you hear some writer or some people, like Ray Romano, when he hosted, I was listening to a podcast where he was on. When he hosted, he brought who's the guy that he did everything with? Michael.
Phil.
Yes, Phil. Yes, exactly.
Phil Rosenthal.
He brought Phil.
Someone has to feed him.
Yeah.
Open up. It's prosciutto.
People bring their people that they do stuff with to SNL. Not to say the SNL writers don't, and maybe their guy, maybe Phil didn't get anything on, but they know their thing. They know their sensibility, and maybe the SNL writers can't quite capture it like their guys can.
It's like when people host the Emmys or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're like, I don't need some people to try to write for me.
Yeah.
Because that can only lead to terrible things.
Yeah.
And then you watch the Emmys and it sucks anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no right answer.
But I think Nate Bargatze, whether he brought some writer friends or he knows, or maybe it's just easy to write for him because his shtick is kind of he's an idiot.
Yeah.
So maybe that is it. But
well, because
he's got that dead look in his eye that makes it funny, whatever he's saying.
Well, that's just part of why he can also be funny doing comedy.
Yeah.
Some people can tell the same jokes, but they don't have the same delivery or just like look.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of factors at play there.
But the thing that maybe his big sketch when he hosted, I think just last year, was the Washington's Dream, where he plays George Washington. He's like, I have a dream that we'll have 2 different words for whatever. All of these sort of American things that are stupid. And it is funny. It was the standout sketch probably of that whole season. They went to the well again and did the same thing, just with new stuff. And then Keenan is there, and he's like, and what about slaves or whatever? And he's like, and I also think that we'll use a ruler that has centimeters on one side and inches on the other or whatever. And it is funny, but it's the same thing as the other one.
Yeah.
It's just, even with him, and I get it. You want the recurring sketch thing of like, oh, this was funny the first time. It's going to be funny this time. And it was. But it just feels a little sick.
It's diminishing returns. They do it with now every time it's like Ryan Gosling laughed at, you know, get the alien thing.
So now
every time we have to think of another way for someone to say poop, like pooper shooter or whatever. They blew my dress up and they blew my best up. And then he kind of has to maybe even act like he's breaking because it's just not as good.
Yeah, I don't know. But then you're, of course, talking about they bring Maya Rudolph in to play Kamala Harris.
Oh!
Jim Gaffigan, who was never on SNL, has no connection except he is...
Just looks like him. It's the Bernie Sanders. Like,
yeah.
Larry David looks like him.
He's playing Tim Walz. Bring back Andy Samberg to play Doug. Dougie Emhoff, Kamala Harris's husband. And and they bring out Dana Carvey to do Biden, which is the only capacity we should be hearing from Dana Carvey is in short bursts on SNL. I think that is
not 2 hour-long episodes a week of
no, because his thing is that he does 5 or 6 voices kind of well. He kind of captures the mannerisms fine. So listening to David Spade trying to be funny with a guest and him interjecting Pirates of the Caribbean every 2 seconds doesn't quite work. But on SNL, it's fun to see him in the makeup and he has the little old man walk down. But again, it's the thing. You have a full cast. We wouldn't know Dana Carvey if he wasn't allowed to do all of that stuff on SNL.
Yeah, if he had been on, but they had Andy Kaufman keep coming on to wrestle him.
You wouldn't know Not Gonna Do It.
And now you're not going to know that someone on the cast could be the new Not Gonna Do It.
It's just sick. But then Lonely Island did a song. And it's funny.
That's great. All the comments are funny as if like they left and like, haven't been doing stuff because they're like, the world has healed itself. The Lonely Island is back
to do one song.
They've got like 4 albums and 2 movies, and they've been doing
all
this other stuff.
Yeah,
but they came back with their song that I guess they recorded like a year ago because they've got some songs in the hopper, I believe, from COVID times. And wasn't that just the before time? I mean, I guess we've got the before times, and now we're in the after times.
You remind me of someone. Guy who's scared of cars. Can't stop talking about COVID.
It was in the before times, but he wasn't vaccinated, but he knew he was one of the... He also is like being a liberal. All his characters like, but of course she was a freak that wasn't vaccinated. His Twitter voice is coming through.
He can't help himself.
I don't know who I'm talking about. But they came back and did something, which is funny because people are like, oh, they're back, the digital short guys. And I think it was just the one. I think it was just a one-off.
I think so. But then Ariana Grande hosted this week, and I haven't watched it, but I did see like a 5-second clip of her in a sketch with Andy Samberg.
Like being a different character?
Yeah. Not Doug or not The Lonely Island. It wasn't like a digital short. It was a sketch. So he's just like on the show now again.
Which is weird because when he was on the show,
He was
I feel
barely in it.
They didn't know how to use him.
Yeah.
And now
that's
there's
why
like,
they had to create their own avenue to be on the show. It's just crazy. I don't get it.
it is funny that it's gone from like having Steve Martin kind of show up and be on to like Andy Samberg is showing up and
Every week.
now, and they've said that it's been long enough that people on the show are treating them like, you know, that's their comedy heroes or whatever.
Right.
Is like those three guys.
Yeah.
And now they're coming back to like do their thing, and people were excited to be in a Lonely Island digital short,
Of course.
which is nice for them.
Of course.
It's just, is it because it's like it's the 50th, so maybe we'll bring out some,
I guess you have that excuse, but
or is it just because now they need him to be around to be Doug?
they also don't, because
And he's funny. We like him, obviously, but
Doug?
no. We hate Doug.
No.
We're not voting this year. Andy is like the least. Yeah, there's like you've got Carvey doing Biden, great. You know, Maya Rudolph looks like she's doing Kamala well.
Yeah.
He's just doing a character. He's doing Andy Samberg.
Well, yeah, because
You're like, hey, I'm Doug.
yeah.
He doesn't look like him.
No.
You know,
It's
like
just-
they could just have one of their cast members
Yeah.
do the cold open and not have to fly him out to like New York every week or whatever.
Yeah. It just seems like a hassle. And I think maybe he lives in New York, and I think Gaffigan does too. But
You think he lives there with his family? I feel like Samberg's an LA guy.
I think not. I don't know. I haven't been listening
But Brooklyn
to
Nine-Nine was filmed in LA.
Well,
Isn't that
explain
crazy?
Sick.
But yeah, check out if you haven't been listening to the Lonely Island Seth Meyers podcast. Good stuff all around. And now that they have a new one out, they kind of like Yorm was on to talk about it and why he's not in it. Because Seth's like, this week, Andy and Kiva are in New York filming a new sketch. Yes, it's true. They're doing new comedy.
wow.
And then they came on to talk about doing the music video and everything
Dang. I'll have to check that out.
and how easy it is to now film digital. He's like, because a lot of what they talk about on there is that they spent their own money and just had to go out on the street guerrilla style and
Right.
film stuff.
Right.
And he's like, now they have like a warehouse where they just built every set for us. And he's like, it was like there was some sort of factory line situation going on where it was like someone had the sets ready, they had that, then someone was ready to do all the graphics or whatever. He's like, it was very streamlined.
Well, because SNL has now been doing digital shorts.
Because they started it, and then probably Lauren was like, I guess we have to keep doing these. New rule. I'm Lauren Michaels now.
And I'm doing digital shorts. I just won't put the thing at the beginning. Okay.
Digital shorts. I hope computer Bart Simpson's not hungry.
Hey, and you know what? I didn't watch it,
touch
but I
me.
saw the very end of it. One of the pre-tape song. That's the problem with Lonely Island is they do the pre-tape song. It's funny, and then SNL thinks they can recreate that magic ad nauseum.
Yeah.
Which sometimes it is funny, and sometimes it's like, but this doesn't need to be a song. There's a point to a comedy song that I don't think people, and maybe the Lonely Island doesn't even do it perfectly every time, but some things aren't a song. They don't need to be a song. The whole point is you're like, it should kind of follow the structure of a joke in that the verse is setting up something, the chorus misdirects, and then the second verse is sort of playing with the misdirect of, oh, now I know the full premise of the song. Now it's jokes about the thing that's happening.
I think it's because people then misremember, like, not all of their digital shorts were songs.
Right.
And it kind of the big ones, Lazy Sunday.
Yeah, the big ones.
D and a B. they go, that's what they did, and we'll do that. But then there's also, because sometimes it feels like the easy way out, where it's like, how do you make this premise that's kind of funnier? And you go, well, if it was a song, because for some reason the comedy song, people think, oh, it's funny because they're singing about it.
Right. But that's not
always the case.
Not always the
people.
case.
Not always the case.
So the Ariana Grande,
Like, we're having a middle-aged mom days out, going to the store, buying Metamucil. And it's like, okay. Maybe the premise isn't that funny.
and I didn't watch it, like I said, but I saw the
You keep saying that, and I'm not sure. But you keep bringing up more stuff.
Ariana Grande, something about going to your friend's house. But at the very end, this is what I saw. It said a Dan Bula film. Now, if you know Sandman, Adam Sandler, the guy who plays piano and writes songs with him is Dan Bula. So he's now getting his own little title credit, it like a digital short or the Please Don't Destroy Boys. Now Bula's getting his own. So I just found that interesting.
Well, I don't remember this guy's name, but they said, what was the short that Lonely Island did for Netflix? It was like
the tennis one.
No, it was the baseball.
No, that was from
one.
HBO.
The baseball one.
Yes,
that one's funny. I don't remember, but
I can't remember.
Whoever helped them direct that, because Keeve said, I call him Keeve. He said it's hard to obviously direct and act and everything and whatever. So they brought a friend that has helped with that stuff, and I think some pop star stuff and whatever. And so when SNL needed someone basically on staff to help do digital shorts, basically they recommended him. So he's who helped with Sushi Glory Hole. So it got to the point where even SNL was like, hey,
do that.
Who can help us do this stuff? So they recommended someone that had helped them. So they do have that sort of setup of like, let's get some people that know how to do this stuff. Dan Boot. What?
So that's just interesting, isn't it? So that's SNL. We've watched barely any of the new season, but we have many opinions on it.
And doesn't Grande do a hell of a Coolidge?
Oh, her Coolidge is better than the other one's Coolidge.
Lemon wedge. And isn't it good that
I hate to actually say this, but I think her Coolidge is better than the other one's.
The lady that's known for doing Coolidge,
Yeah.
and then you bring someone on that absolutely leaves not even one crumb doing it. And what's the best part is the sketch is terrible. Lemon wedge. I did read a comment on it that said, do grown-ups actually find this stuff funny? And I was like, they're kind of right. Like, I will laugh when I watch it, but maybe I'm just being chuggy. And look what I'm listening to right now. In fact, a Little Lonely Island podcast. I can't help it. I wear my influences on my sleeve. You know what else I wear on my sleeve there, Lando?
Long sleeves because it's cold.
No, I wear things that we've even discussed on this very podcast.
Whoa.
Late one night. This is kind of a Halloween story as well.
Late one
night. I'm leaving this very record. And you know us, sometimes we go long for the podcast. So I stopped. I need to get gas in a protein bar. It's 12:30 at night, and I say, probably should have had dinner. I leave your house. I get off the highway somewhere, grab a protein bar, say evening. They say good morning. That's always weird. Have a good morning because they don't know what time it is. Now, I'm parked at a gas thing. Okay. The place is empty and there's like probably 10 gas filler uppers out there, right? Pumps. So right next to me at the pump, as you call it, is another car now. And there's one person, there's a man sitting in his car and he's just got his head down and he's not doing anything. He's just sitting in his car with his head down.
I hope to God it's not a Christine.
Everything is empty. It might be because he sort of looks like he's maybe being possessed or something.
Sounds scary.
But he's right next to my car, so I'm like, kind of weird. Could have picked any other thing, but luckily, I'm a strong man.
Yeah,
I don't need anything to be worried about. But I go, if I was a little lady, I might need to be worried.
Different story.
So I go out, I peel my protein bar, and I sit down, and as I sit in my car, I take a big bite of this protein bar, and then hey, woman comes from around the pump next to this car, hey, to me, and I and so my door is open. I've got a big bite of protein bar in my mouth, and I go, yeah, and she goes, hey, I can't believe.
No.
Not in my head. I say, Landon, and she goes, I can't believe and it's me, and it's my husband, and my husband I'm so sorry, and he. Now notice I'm not actually saying anything, and that I'm trying to cry. So I go with my mouth full of protein bar. I go. And I stare at her through my window, and I go, yeah, what? And she's like, my husband, now her husband apparently is dead in the driver's seat because he just has his head down. She goes, we're on the road, and I can't believe I'm even we just need $40 for gas. It doesn't even cost me $40 to fill my tank up.
Right. Well, you have a supercar.
I have a supercar. It's called a Supercharger RX. She's got a tiny little squeaker. You're not putting $40 in there. You're not. That is not a 15-galloner.
No.
All right. Price of gas right now is not that high, even though all the stickers someone has put on this thing say with a picture of Biden that says I did this.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Gas is pretty cheap right now.
Pretty cheap. Good work, Biden.
Thank you, sir. So and I'm like, $40 is basically $50.
You said that to her, didn't you?
I'm like, $40 is kind of a lot of money.
It's almost 50, which is almost 100.
Which is that's exactly. I was like, you're asking me for $100 by asking me for 40, and I was like, and I'm thinking of you buying someone a Dr. P at
Diet Coke,
a Diet Coke,
Slurpee
and a and I'm like, this could be the same couple for all I know. Pretending it's your husband instead of your dad or your old guy that you're watching or whatever.
Right.
But nonetheless, so she's like, we just need $40 for gas, and that's all. And I was like, yeah, I don't have. I went in there and got this. So not telling him no, but just I was like, well, I got this.
I got it.
So
protein
just
bar that probably cost $10.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't have any cash. And she kind of stops her fake crying, and she goes, so what? You can't get cash back now? Just totally flips on me.
Sure.
So then I'm just kind of done.
Yeah.
But I'm like alone.
Yeah.
Her husband is sort of doing whatever.
He's somewhere.
I'm like, they're gonna drag me out of this. So I'm just like, so I kind of just had to lie my way out of it.
What'd you tell him?
I said I paid for everything in cash. That's all so there's none left. And she goes, okay. Not even like
Yeah.
But I'm like, $40 is, if I say 10, because I've done that before where someone has followed me and told me their whole story about how their kids are in a taxi cab. It's like the guy's sitting in there waiting and the thing's racking up, and I was like, I've got like $5 or whatever.
Right.
And they go, well, if you go to an ATM, I'll go to the ATM with you and you can get out the 40 that I need.
Right.
And I was like, that is crazy.
Right.
I know you're crazy, but that is crazy. So I was like, I'm not going to go in there, because if I don't have cash on me, if I go and say, I'll give you 10, they go, well, you get cash back.
Right.
So just give me all of it.
Right.
And then they've got me inside, and it just gets freaky.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking of you.
Thank you.
And how dumb you were.
Hey.
So I was just like, I don't have any.
Yeah.
And she was like, whatever. So I drive away, and her husband is still head down, but she's scared me. She jumped out from, because when I saw the car, I was looking because I was like, I bet they're gonna try to ask me for something. No one in sight.
Yeah,
and
you kind of get the feeling.
Man.
Wait, hey, where was this? Was it on that side Target?
No, this is Wright Brothers. You know, when you pull off to go to the airplane, get out of here.
Mhm.
I got a plan to get us out of here, like a plane.
Yeah, by the Wright brothers.
Yeah. So that's also where I got pulled over the last time we recorded. I got pulled over for speeding. This time I got someone trying to shake me down for money, much like the cops did when I got pulled over.
They did?
They gave me a ticket.
Bend them over, spread them. Is that this episode?
No. That was like 3 weeks ago. Wasn't even this record.
What?
What'd you call me?
Huh?
So, yeah.
That's crazy. Well, because I have another friend who told me a story about that side of town Target, the gas station by the Target on that side. Kind of the exact same thing where she came up to him. He was
Casey?
Yeah. He was pumping gas, and a lady came up to him, kind of crying, but also kind of not. Like, I swear I never do this. My family and something's wrong, and I can't, and that thing. So I was just wondering if maybe it's that same person going around hitting all the gas stations with the same sob story.
And from my memory, all alone in the moonlight, they had Iowa or wherever we live. They had California plates.
Yes.
They had
555 phone number.
Yep. So the same state we live in was the plates. So I'm like, you're not just driving through.
No, you don't need your husband's not dead.
I know he's dead in the driver's seat, but you got bigger problems.
If
then.
he is, $40 ain't gonna cut it.
Money don't fix everything.
Here's my question. Why do all that? Why do all of that? Just, it's so much more work in my mind.
Just get a job. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
But it is there. It's
Well,
just some
yeah, I mean,
people that
clearly-
are so. When someone needs help and you can tell,
Of
it's like,
course.
I understand you can't get a job.
Yeah.
I know if you're homeless, you can't get a job because they're gonna say, "Where do you live?" And
Unhoused.
you're gonna say, because you're politically incorrect. You're gonna say, "I'm homeless."
Yeah.
So they're gonna say, "We don't say that anymore.
No.
We can't hire you."
Right.
You're actually unhoused. And
Yeah.
for that, we can't hire
And they're
you.
like, okay. But no, yeah, of course it's these people who clearly have the motivation, and some,
You could become a great grifter. Some of them become the president of the United States.
amen to that.
I've got a lot of money. I just can't show you. And you're like, okay, Kamala.
perfect health, but I won't let you talk to my doctor about it.
I wish I was at that. 35 minutes of just standing there listening to music. Well, he kind of.
Forget the questions.
Anybody else want to faint?
Nobody wants to hear any questions.
So, yeah, just
Interesting.
wild stuff out there going on. Be careful out there.
Be careful out there. Hey, well, speaking of politics, I know we never get into politics on the show, but I was at a
Politics. It's like when two ticks you from across the bar.
Yeah.
And they liked your vibe.
And I've been thinking sending a wedding invite with just a +1 is actually anti-polycule.
Mm-hmm. What if you've got
It's oppressive to
Yeah.
people who do that.
You need to bring your unicorn with you.
Sick. We were at an antique mall. I won't tell you which one, but we finally went.
Okay. Was it made of a sort of tarnished metal and maybe reminded you of something you saw when you were in Texas? Okay.
It was actually Georgia that I saw the armadillo.
Yeah, I was like, you weren't in Texas. Why'd you say that?
But actually, I almost forgot that I even saw one.
Well, I'm glad I reminded you because you made a big effing deal about it to
I
me.
sure did.
These exist. Shaking me.
It was just weird that
Rolled up in a ball. Got a shield on its back.
but it didn't. It died.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's shielded from like natural things. Millions of years of
But
evolution.
not a car.
If you believe in that crap.
No.
But maybe in a couple more, maybe it'll get harder.
Yeah, I hope so. Natural selection. Eventually, the hardest shell will win.
Yeah, I hope it gets harder.
In another 3 million years? Yeah, right.
We're not even going to be around.
It's our star, Betelgeuse, is going to burn out.
It's going to actually expand and envelop us. I wish, man.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Summer days are here to stay.
Hey, what are you doing in here, kiddo?
I heard, when I was at this place you were at,
Uh-huh.
there was a
Polycule?
there's a song on by the Beach Boys, and it was like, she's a little old lady and she lives down the street. Little old lady, little old lady. So I'm kind of curious about what the Beach Boys is all about.
Well, I was just listening to
Little Saint Nick,
yeah,
little old lady that lives on our street. If you came to me and said, I want to write a song about the little old lady that lives on the street, and that's...
they couldn't, I don't know. I was listening to Oingo Boingo just out of a curiosity I had. And
because of Beetlejuice.
yeah, kind of. And one of the song I just put on a random album, and the first song is like, I like little girls. I was like, Jesus. They make me feel good. They make me feel bad. They don't talk back. They don't, like, it was just, it kept going deeper into why Danny Elfman likes little girls.
Right. That's why you got to get on the Genius where people are like, he's being ironic.
It's just joking. Anyway, I was at the Brass Armadillo.
Oh,
It's an antique mall, right? Okay, and they had these, you know, the old beer steins with like a top and it's
Beerstein.
and no, I'm not voting for beer stein. That's throwing away my vote. Even if I do agree with her.
Yeah, those libertarians got something.
But and they had and it just reminded me, I think even my grandparents had something like this where it was the donkey and the elephant, and people just had this stuff. There was such a pride in America's whole thing that even like just people had memorabilia of the fact that we have two parties.
Like they had both. Like someone had both.
They were selling the elephant, the Republican elephant beer stein,
And what you're doing with your thumb is you're lifting the lid.
That's
if
right.
I'm, yeah, okay.
and the Democratic donkey beer stein, and they had them both for sale. And I remember, yeah, I'm pretty sure my grandparents had something like that in their basement, and it just reminded me of there was a time when people were just so infatuated with the idea that America has the ability to have the two parties that differ but,
you have a
but still
choice.
come together. Like that whole thing, it was just like, how stupid.
You buy one of those, you buy both, and then you take one and you put it out on a fence in a field and you shoot it with an AK-47 until it explodes.
That's right.
And you say, I'm keeping the donkey.
That's right. I always was upset that the donkey was the Democrat.
Yeah, because you're a jackass.
Yeah.
Now, elephant, of course, never forgets, unless it's something like Holocaust.
Dinosaurs. They think oil is a replenishing source in the earth.
Yeah.
I mean, they've forgotten everything. 34 felony convictions.
This would be a good, oh crap. I had a great stand-up routine I thought of the other night.
Oh, well.
I don't think I wrote it down. I'm going to freak out. You know, you ever have that and you just go, I forgot, and I'm never going to remember again.
Yeah, I had it just today, actually.
And there was a discussion about it, and it was like, that's
Funny.
actually a very good idea.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
You gotta write this stuff down because our brains are actually, because of the 5G, our brains aren't fully capturing all of their memories anymore. So either you get the Russell Brand amulet that protects you from 5G that are like $300, or just write it down.
I got the bonus bundle. I got the amulet, which I wear, which then if you look at the EMF radiation chart, you actually see my body is completely white.
Oh, nice.
And that's before you turn the EMF thing on.
I was wondering. I saw a short film where your chest was shaved, and I'm just saying it's all white, all white, all white.
Well, speaking of, I also got in the bundle was the, if you want to see another short film, I got the undies that he wears to baptize people.
Oh.
So that just adds to the whiteness of everything. Nice pair of whitey tighties. Pop those on, get into a river, start dunking some heads. I'm actually certified to do this now. You ever see he just posts like, why do we as Christians think that God is all love? And people are like, oh, Russell, you're so smart.
Yeah.
He will be president someday.
Probably. And he can't.
Doing the same thing. He can't, but they'll be like, he actually can.
Yeah.
Until it's like someone that's like,
Well, they forget.
well, they lived in Africa for 2 days,
Yeah.
so they're not allowed.
Yeah.
But he has never been here. Unless, other than going to the Greek.
Yeah. He got there eventually.
He did go.
It was a struggle, but he did get there.
Yes. And it was quite an adventure, I heard.
Think he'll write Bookie Wook 3.
All right. Bookie Wook 3. Yeah, I can't wait to read it.
Absolutely. Joey, God, I feel like we only just scratched the surface, but
And it's time to go already?
I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Bye.
Bye.
You're listening to the Prescribed Films Podcast Network, home to hundreds of hours of free podcast entertainment. The shows on this network all have a common goal, providing you with the best discussions about movies and other forms of entertainment media. The PFPN hopes to fill your earholes with audio joy. Visit our website with links to all the other amazing shows at www.thepfpn.com. Thanks for listening.